Tensions between the United States and Venezuela are escalating once again, this time with President Trump delivering one of his strongest warnings yet to Nicolás Maduro's regime. And the message was blunt. Maduro's days are numbered. But the real headline now is far bigger than political pressure or sanctions. The debate has shifted into a dangerous question. Is the U.S. preparing for military action in Venezuela? This week, President Trump was asked directly whether he would rule out sending American ground troops into Venezuela. His response?
Can't talk about
So
strategy.
how far would you go to take Maduro out of office?
I don't want to say that, but...
But you want to see him out?
His days are numbered.
A statement that sent shockwaves through Washington and immediately raised fears that the U.S. might be inching toward another foreign conflict. Senator Rand Paul, a longtime critic of unauthorized military interventions, in a sharp rebuke, he reminded the country of something many presidents have ignored, the Constitution. Paul argued that the president cannot take the United States to war without approval from Congress. He called any unilateral military operation in Venezuela unconstitutional, offensive, and a war of choice, not necessity. He also warned that 10 wrongs don't make a right, pointing out that past presidents from Truman in Korea to Clinton in Kosovo to Obama in Libya have acted without congressional approval. But he insisted that even if past leaders bypass Congress, it does not give President Trump the authority to start a new war. What's fueling this confrontation is the administration's aggressive campaign against suspected Venezuelan drug-running boats in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific. Recent U.S. strikes have targeted these small vessels, allegedly involved in trafficking. But a new controversy erupted when questions were raised about whether survivors from one blown-up boat were intentionally killed in an act that would violate U.S. military law and the rules of war. President Trump said he had no problem releasing video footage of a second strike on September 2nd before later accusing reporters of misquoting him. The Pentagon says the video is under review, but lawmakers like Rand Paul want it released immediately. The senator argues that the U.S. may be entering a gray zone, killing unarmed individuals on small motorboats thousands of miles away, without clear evidence that they carried drugs or posed any threat. Paul even pointed out that 1 out of every 4 boats boarded by the Coast Guard traditionally had no drugs on board. Yet now, instead of boarding, the policy appears to be to destroy the vessel from a distance. He warns this could lead to a tragic error rate, innocent people being killed on suspicion alone. And perhaps most striking, Paul claims that months after one explosive incident, 2 survivors were later picked up, and not only were they not Venezuelans, but they were released without any drug charges, no weapons found, and were simply sent back to Colombia and Ecuador. As the pressure campaign intensifies and talk of regime change grows louder, the stakes continue to rise. Is this truly about stopping drug trafficking, or is the U.S. drifting toward a wider conflict in the Caribbean? For now, the world waits for the Pentagon's video and for clarity on whether America is preparing for another war.